Amateur radio Newsline will start in 5 minutes.
W8WKY.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2472, with the release date of Friday, March 14th, 2025, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The official U.S. Climate Agency faces an uncertain future. Ham radio becomes a tool to handle rampaging wildlife and a triumph for navigation systems on the moon. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2472 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now reporting from Charleston, West Virginia, here's Jim Dameron in a TMW.
We begin with a developing story here in the U.S. With the Atlantic hurricane season on the horizon, ongoing job cuts at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, are throwing the agency's future into question among forecasters, scientists, skywarn spotters, and other hams responding to weather disasters around the nation. Randy Sly, W4XJ, brings us up to date.
Published reports about the downsizing of a number of U.S. federal agencies indicate that NOAA, the Climate and Weather Agency, is bracing for another 1,000 job cuts on top of its recent loss of an estimated 1,300 staffers. The National Weather Service, which is a part of NOAA, announced earlier this month that it was temporarily halting launches of some of its weather balloons because of staffing shortages. Data gathered by the weather balloons has been, among other things, an important source of data used by hams and others who regularly track the solar cycle. Sources told the Washington Post that the government may not renew the leases for NOAA's Weather and Climate Center in Maryland and for its Radar Operations Center in Oklahoma. According to a report in the New York Times, additional cuts will mean a reduction in NOAA's staffing by 20%. The Washington Post said that the National Weather Service now has fewer than 4,000 on staff, the smallest roster in recent history. A number of amateur radio nets, including the Hurricane Watch Net and the Maritime Mobile Service Net, interact with the National Weather Service during storms and other emergencies, passing traffic and transmitting critical bulletins. It was unclear what impact these staffing cuts will ultimately have on amateur radio's role in safety communications during times of crisis. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
Amateur radio emergency response varies from location to location, but the need for effective communication remains the same everywhere, whether a region is dealing with a wildfire, a cyclone, or something else. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, tells us about a response team in India that recently started up to deal with rampaging wildlife.
A handful of villagers on the edge of the Buxa Tiger Reserve now have additional assurance that they will be better informed about dangers posed by wildlife on the move. The North Bengal Amateur Radio Society has assisted a group of youths from 5 villages near the Tiger Reserve so as licensed hams, they can watch out for potential deadly encounters between humans and animals. The young amateurs began this effort after the last monsoon, in which 2 young villagers were attacked and killed by elephants in a remote village of Chipani, according to a report on the website of the Indian publication The Telegram. The young team received guidance from Swaroop Saha, VU3KOX, Secretary of the North Bengal Ham Society. Mobile connectivity is unreliable in remote areas of the region, and villagers were often unable to warn one another about dangers to their homes, their crops, and their lives. The 3 months after the small team of hams was formed, radios have been set up in each small village near the Tiger Reserve. Villagers told the Telegram they were much more confident now that they will be better able to protect themselves and their homes. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Farmers and fishermen in India are also learning how ham radio can assist them, as we hear from Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In West Bengal, India, hams responding to natural disasters in the coastal region of that state have long witnessed the struggle of farmers and fishermen in the aftermath of each of these cyclones and other disturbances. While the radio operator's response has traditionally been to initially step in and assist with emergency communications, the West Bengal Radio Club knew its members had to do something more and could. At a one-day seminar this month at Nyota University, in cooperation with Agriculture and Communication Department officials, 3 speakers from the club gave insights and instruction to those who work the land and the sea. They learned how they might use radio to better prepare in protecting their livelihoods in this difficult climate. Club Secretary Ambarish Nagbiswas VU2JFA told Newsline that after conducting the awareness program and instruction, the hams will assist with the installation of community radios with the support of government officials. More than 350 students from 8 states and 17 districts attended the one-day seminar and workshop. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In bringing you this next story, Newsline indulges in a bit of personal pride. The Hamvention Awards Committee has chosen our own Neil Rapp, WB9BPG, as Amateur of the Year. You may know him as a Newsline anchor and correspondent, and as creator and host of the former Ham Talk Live webcast. But the ham world first heard from Neil at the age of 5 when he became one of the youngest licensed hams ever in 1976. A visiting professor of chemistry at Xavier University and a former high school chemistry teacher, Neil has a long commitment of bringing ham radio to kids. First as a school ham club sponsor and as co-founder and camp director of Youth on the Air Americas. Neil is a contributing editor at the National Contest Journal and a member of the ARIS USA Education Committee. We are so proud of you, Neil. Neil will share the stage in May during the Hamvention Awards in Xenia, Ohio, with 3 other recipients. One of them, Dr. Christina Collins, KD8OXT, is Chief Operations Scientist for the Hamside Personal Space Weather Station Network. She is being given the Technical Achievement Award. Julio Ripoll, WD4R, is being given the Special Achievement Award. Julio is co-founder of Amateur Radio Operations at the National Hurricane Center and is assistant coordinator. He has managed emergency communications during Caribbean hurricanes and the Haiti earthquake of 2010. The Club of the Year award recipient is the RV Radio Network, which has more than 450 members who combine amateur radio with the joy of travel in recreational vehicles, hosting educational forums, rallies, and seminars along their journeys. A station in Austria has been the latest shortwave broadcaster to air a program by Germany's National Amateur Radio Society, as we learn from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
If you've been listening to Radio DARC's shortwave programs broadcast on the 31-meter band from Wufferton in England or from Ingolstadt in Germany on Radio Channel 292, a ham-owned AM broadcast station, you now have another option. The program produced by Germany's National Amateur Radio Society is now being carried on a test basis by the Museum's Radio Plattenkist transmitter in Bad Ischl, Austria, run by OE5 TPM. During the month of March, you can listen from 1900 to 2000 CET on Saturdays on 1476 kHz. The DARC welcomes reception reports for the 1 kilowatt station, and these should be emailed directly to radio@darc.de. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the U.S., the entire 6 gigahertz band will be opened up to a greater operation of unlicensed VLP, very low power, devices under an FCC final rule that takes effect May 5th. The band, which comprises frequencies between 5.925.7 and 7.125 gigahertz, is used by mobile service, fixed service, and fixed satellite service across 4 subbands. VLPs, which include wearable devices, augmented reality devices, and healthcare monitors, typically have an integrated antenna and cover short distances. This latest action by the Commission, published in the Federal Register March 6th, provides greater spectrum for various portable devices operating with the same power levels and operational requirements of other VLP devices. Time for you to identify your station. We're the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the KD2SL repeater, Syracuse, New York, Mondays 8 p.m. after the Fireside Chatnet. Navigation systems based on Earth have achieved something that has scientists literally over the moon with pride, as we hear from Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
When an Earth-based navigation system successfully tracked a lander on the surface of the moon on March 3rd, the interaction was hailed as a triumph. It was a first for lunar GNSS receiver experiment known as LUGRA, a joint project of NASA and the Italian Space Agency. This unprecedented ability to have Earth-based navigation track movements on the moon bodes well for high-altitude exploration such as NASA's planned Artemis missions. Observers view it as a gateway to even more advanced navigation systems, which would be applicable to missions headed for Mars. The contacts between LUGRA and the two navigation systems, GPS and Galileo, achieved success some 225,000 miles from Earth, determining position, velocity, and time autonomously. This is a first for the Italian Space Agency and a nod to the work of Frank Bauer, KA3HDO, who was a consultant for the LUGRA Moonlander package. Frank, the executive director of ERIS, had experimented more than 20 years ago using the satellite AO40 to measure the signal strength of the GPS satellite constellation at high altitudes. That experiment was credited with helping improve GPS and its applications, and experts note that it ultimately led to the ability for such navigation at even higher Earth orbits. This is Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
We remind listeners that young hams who live in the continental United States have an opportunity to make news, if they aren't already doing so, by being a recipient of this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger, someone who has talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Newsline was proud here to honor Grace Papay, K8L6 of Holland, Michigan, with this special award. Do you know someone who might qualify to receive this year's honor? Find application forms on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. Nominations are now open. We're accepting nominations through May 31st. New York State's Erie Canal was completed 200 years ago, providing a waterway connection between the East Coast and the Midwest by linking New York's Hudson River with Lake Erie. Now the Erie Canal is getting ready to be a source of connection for amateur radio operators who will be on the air in September at various points, including the 524 miles known as the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor. If you'd like to be one of them, this report from Andy Morrison, K9AWM, should be helpful.
September can't come soon enough for the Warren County Radio Club, W2WCR, whose members are planning a club picnic and POTA activation to mark the bicentennial of the Erie Canal. The club's president, Bernie, N1NDN, told Matt, K2EAG, and Mike, N2MAK, that the POTA event the two have organized from the 16th through the 25th of September provides a perfect opportunity for everyone to try operating a portable station while celebrating the historic canal. While most of the portable stations are likely to be at various points along the route known as the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor, not all activations are likely to be on dry land. Matt said that the Radio Association of Western New York, W2PE, hopes to operate aboard the museum ship USS Little Rock
CLG-4 in Buffalo, while at the opposite end of the canal in Albany, hams are hoping to activate another museum ship, the USS Slater, WW2DEM. Matt and Mike are looking for as many individual hams and clubs as possible to sign up. Meanwhile, there's plenty of room along the corridor, which has the POTA designation of US 6532. The radio event is timed to coincide with the World Canal Conference that kicks off on the 21st of September in Buffalo. If you would like to help honor the canal's history, contact Matt at the email address in the text version of this week's newscast script at arnewsline.org, or look for him on the Facebook page of Upstate New York Parks on the Air. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
In the world of DX, Pierre, VE3KTB, is using the call sign VY0ERC from the Eureka Amateur Radio Club station on Ellesmere Island, IOTA number NA008 until the 2nd of April. He's operating CW, SSB, and FT8 on various bands. For QSL details, CQRZ.com. The DARC's special event call sign, DA25WARD, is active until the 27th of April in recognition of World Amateur Radio Day. Hams around the world celebrate April 18th, 1925, the day of the founding of the International Amateur Radio Union. CQRZ.com for QSL details. Members of the EIDX group are using the call sign 6Y7EI from Jamaica, IOTA number NA097 through to the 24th of March. Listen for them on 160 through 6 meters, where they will be operating using all modes. QSL via M0OXO. Adrian, HJ4ADR, is operating holiday style from the 20th through to the 26th of March using the call sign HJ4ADR/0. He's operating from Providencia Island, IOTA number NA049, using low power. He'll be on 40 and 10 meters using SSB and FT8. CQRZ.com for QSL details. Finally, if you've ever waited for a phone call that just never came, you might appreciate our final story this week, especially if your caller happened to be on the moon. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, explains.
That much-awaited wireless call from the moon to the Earth will just have to be put on hold for now. Nokia's 4G LTE network was expected to be put through its paces from the south pole of the lunar surface following the March 6th landing of the Athena lander, built by the private Houston, Texas-based company Intuitive Machines. Athena arrived with Nokia's Network in a Box, or NIB, on board. Like its predecessor lander, also built by Intuitive Machines, the lander tipped over upon arrival, and with its solar panels blocked from receiving the necessary recharge from the sun, the mission was quickly declared over. Undaunted, Nokia pointed out that the company did successfully deliver the moon's first cellular network and powered it up for 25 minutes to transmit data and receive commands from the Earth. Hopes were high, though, that there would be more to report. After all, this mission was supposed to help facilitate communications in 2027 aboard Artemis 3. That mission is to be NASA's first human spaceflight to the moon since 1972, and astronauts are expected to be wearing spacesuits that have integrated 4G LTE capabilities courtesy of Nokia and Axiom Space. Of course, that's still 2 years away, so until then, hold all calls, please. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
You don't need to be a literary giant of the amateur radio world to send your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge. You just need to be inspired. Set your ham radio poetry down using traditional haiku format. A 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website, arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website, where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to ABC, Amateur News Daily, and Barry Snag Bishwash VU2JFA, David Behar, K7DB, the DARC, Federal Register, Hackaday, Matt Brown, K2EAG, Michael Coulter, W8CI, New York Times, NASA.gov, QRZ.com, Radio World, ShortwaveRadio.de, The Telegram, Washington Post, Wired.com, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, visit our website, arnewsline.org, and know we appreciate you all. We also remind listeners, if you like our newscast, leave a
timeout, 15-second lock. Timeout, end.
the weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes.
W8WKY. evening, and welcome to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Weekly Net. My call sign is WA8KOC. My name is Fred. I'll be net control for this evening's festivities. We will also have trivia provided by Mr. Eric Mast, WA8ELM. Before we get the net started, and I call CQ for whoever wants to check in, are there any announcements for the net?
Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I believe she's just a tad late. CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Weekly Net, brought to you on Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association's WAWKY repeater. Location for the repeater is Doylestown, Ohio. Frequency for this repeater is 147 Mark 390 megahertz, and the CTCSS code for this repeater is 114 Mark 8. This is a control net. We'll request all traffic come through net control. Emergency or priority traffic may break in as required. Again, I'll call for any announcements before we start the net. All right, hearing no response, I will call for anyone, anywhere, any licensed radio amateur that would like to check in and out for the net this evening. I'm not going to take them by counties. I'll just take them one at a time, whoever. WA8KOC, looking for in and out check-ins, please.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Victor Mike Whiskey, Jim in Barberton. KE8, UKC in Akron.
Kilo Zulu 8, Bravo Lima Delta, Bryant, Canal Fulton, Ohio, KEBLD. Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Mike, Green.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8, TLB. I'll be in and out. 73, everyone.
Kilo Delta 8, November Echo Oscar, KD8, NEO, Darrell in Holmes County, in and out.
Please check in. Kilo Delta 8, Juliet November X-ray, KD8JNX, Brittany. Fred, I'll be in and out. I gotta go to bed.
8 Sol, Brian in North, and I'll be listening tonight, in and out.
And I'll be in and out as well.
If I can pause it right there. I copied KD8JNX and KF8G. There was a station that came in right beside KF8G. If that station would please re-identify. With the last station that checked in and out, please re-identify for me.
Kilo Echo 8, India Mike Echo, David Sterling.
Okay, I didn't think that was you, David, but thank you for that. Any other in and outs?
This is Whiskey November 8, Sierra Charlie India. Maybe it was me. I'll be in and out.
I got you, Walter. Anyone else?
Whiskey 8, Hotel Romeo Foxtrot, W8HRF, Josh in Akron, in and out here with Miss Betty.
KF8AXO, Dave and Green, in and out.
Dave, could I get your call sign again phonetically? There's a little bit of hash in your signal.
KF8AXO, Kilo, Foxtrot, 8, Alpha, X-ray,
Got it that time. Thank you, Dave. We'll mark you in and out. Anyone else in and out? I'm going to pick the list up here and give you guys who I've got. WB8VMW, KE8UKC, KZ8BLD, KB8VHM, KE8TLB, KD8NEO, KD8GNX, my buddy Brooker, KF8G, KE8IME, WN8SCI, W8HRF, and KF8AXO. Any corrections, and did I miss anyone?
W8CTM, carry at Portage Lakes, in and out.
Carrie, my friend, I got you. Anyone else? It's currently 8:06 p.m. I don't know if we'll have any other stations that come in a little bit later on and want to be in and out. But right now, we've got some trivia prepared for us by Eric, W8ELM. So I'm going to go to regular check-ins for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. Regular check-ins, please give me a call, folks. WA8KOC. I'll be using the club call W8WKY.
This is Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob in Barberton.
November WKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick down the farm.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 CRX, Scott Vermillion.
November Tango 8 Delta NT8D, Dave in Copley.
November 8 Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London.
Bill, I had you the first time, haha.
Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra AA8CS, Gary in Fairlawn.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB, John in Massillon.
This is WO3X Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. Name here is John. I'm in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Alpha 8 Mike November Tango, Tom in Canton.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Lima Sierra W2JS, John in Fairlawn.
W8WKY.
ACA, Fox Queen Victor, good evening, Fred. Mark up in Aurora.
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf K4OG, Mark in Copley.
Please copy for 7 Victor Alpha November and 7 BAN portable in and out.
Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP Jerry in Shreve.
I want to take the liberty of picking it up right there and give you folks who I got for the first round of regular check-ins. KA8LYJ Bob, thank you. NAWS Bill. KD8SLG Just Nick. KE8VOX Scotty, I gotcha. NT8D Dave. AA8CS, Gary. KE8UIB, WO3X, John, good to hear you. KA8MNT, Tom, thank you. W2JLS, John, I got you. KC8FQB, Mark, got you also. K4OG, Mark, I've got you on the list. N7VAN checked in and out. Brian, thanks for being here. I'll mark you in and out. And KC8HDP, Jerry, I like the way you enunciate your call sign perfectly. Thanks, Jerry. So with that, that's the first round of regular check-ins. We'll see if there's anybody else out there before we call Eric in here. Regular check-ins for the Tuesday night Silvercreek Amateur Radio Net. Please call W8WKY. All right, a mode of silence tells me that might be it for this portion of the net. We'll call Eric in here and get a trivia question from him, and possibly through the rest of the answers on the net for the trivia, we'll get some additional check-ins. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us this evening. W8ELM, Eric, good evening. How are you? I imagine you have a pretty good question for our trivia this evening. Please come in.
W8WKY, this is W8ELM. Well, first I want to warn everybody, leave your wallets in your pocket. Tonight's trivia: on the back of the new colorized high-security version of the United States $100 bill, introduced in 2013, the time on the clock tower of Independence Hall is, I'll read that again. On the back of the new colorized high-security version of the United States $100 bill introduced in 2013, the time on the clock tower of Independence Hall, and that's on the reverse of the bill, is A alpha 410, B Bravo 704, C Charlie 802, or D Delta 1030. Again, on the back of the new color high-security version of the United States $100 bill introduced in 2013, the time on the clock tower of Independence Hall is A alpha 410, B Bravo 704, C Charlie 802, or D Delta 1030. Back to net.
There's no problem with me keeping my cash in my billfold because there's not that many bills in there, and none of them are anywhere near that value. Eric, thank you for being here with us and giving us such a great trivia question. Always appreciate your presence and your work for the club doing this. And if you can mark my answer down as B Bravo 704, there's a special reason I gave that as an answer. And I'm going to get back to our regular check-ins and see what we've got going on with commentaries and answers to this trivia question. First up, KA8LYJ Bob, good evening. This is twice in one day. Good to hear you. What's your answer for the trivia question, and how are you doing today?
W8WKY, this is KA8LYJ. Good evening, everybody on the net. Been a rather uneventful day. I did manage to swap out a dead power strip and finished laying the drain line for the air conditioner, so it's up and running when it finally gets hot, hopefully next week. Hi. I had to laugh about leaving the $100 bill in my wallet as if I ever have one. That was kind of hilarious. I don't know. I am going to guess A, alpha. Simply because it, off to, on an even number seems to be easier to draw on an etching. And that's the only reason for that. This is K8LYJ turning it over.
Well, first off, Bob, thank you for joining in with us this evening. Sincerely appreciate your presence here with us. And, yeah, you know what? I think the warmer weather's right around the corner. Today wasn't bad. I think it's going to get a little bit warmer before it gets cooler again and then warms up again next week. But I've got you marked down for letter A to the trivia answer. That would be 410. And we'll see what gives in a little bit. Stay tuned. Thanks, Bob. NAWS, WAWKY. Good evening, William. Are you behaving yourself? What's your answer?
WAWKY in the group, NAWS. Good evening, Fred. Good evening, all in Ed. I never behave myself. Can't have no fun that way. Well, because I don't know, I'm going to guess C. Yeah, I don't usually check in this net. I usually check in and out. But tonight I wanted to let everybody know that my wife and I watched the spacecraft come back home this evening. And I thought it was very interesting. We watched about an hour and 10 minutes of it. From the time that the drone chutes opened the parachutes until they got off the ship. It was very interesting and very informative. If you've never watched that, there's plenty of places you can see it. I watch it on Hannity.com. My wife likes to listen to Hannity.com, so she said, turn on Hannity.com and see the spaceship coming back. Well, it took a few minutes, but I finally got it. And like I said, it was very interesting. Back to you, Fred. W8WKY in the group, NAWS.
Bill, thank you very much for joining in with us this evening. I appreciate that. I imagine that was pretty interesting. And you'll only find that kind of ingenuity here in America. Too bad we can't all take credit for it. We're not all no brainiacs, but we've got a few. They're out there and they're working hard. And, yeah. I've got you marked down for C, Charlie, for the trivia question. You take good care of yourself, and hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you again tomorrow morning. 7-3, Bill. KD8SLG, just Nick. Good evening. How's your foot? And how's your answer for the trivia question? Is it going to be a winner?
WAWKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Fred, and all of the Sierra Club netizens. I'm going with 10:30. Convert that to A, B, C, or D there. I think it was 10:30. That's my choice. I'm pretty sure I couldn't see even if I had a bill in front of me. Actually, I tried, and I still can't see the bill in front of me. Nonetheless, a couple of announcements. Dudes are dudes, so there's that. And we got a meeting this week, and looking forward to that. And I'm sure Gary will talk about that at some length. Hope to see some people there if I can make it. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks, Fred. It's KD8SLG. Back to net control.
That, my fine friends, is our VP, always on duty. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for being here. I got you marked down for D Delta. Maybe that'll be a winner. I don't know. But hope the foot feels better. And it'd be great to see you Thursday if we get a chance. 7-3, pal. KE8, VLX, Scotty, good morning. Good evening. I said good morning earlier today. I'll say good evening now. Hopefully you had a good lunch with the fam, and hopefully you've got an answer for us for the trivia question. Over to you, WAWKY.
WAWKY-KE8-VOX, Scott here. I'm going to go with, on trivia, I'm going to go with C there, Fred. Family lunch was great. We went to a new place there in Amherst. I think it's called Sal and Al's. It was really good. First time ever being there, and they weren't really big. I mean, they were customers in there, but they weren't busy like some other places for lunchtime crowd. But they had really good food. I'd definitely go again. And I checked out. I heard you, Fred, this morning say what kind of e-bike you got, and I checked them out before I purchased mine. They're a pretty nice bike. I almost got one, but I went with a little cheaper one, and I sure hope you enjoy it because they look like real nice e-bikes. And that's all I got. Thanks for doing the net, and thanks for getting me in. W8WKY-KE8VOX.
Scott, my man, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to say hello to you. Thank you for checking in with us this morning on the Browner Net and this evening again on the Tuesday Weekly Net. The Adventure, nice bicycle. In fact, I was just down the street prior to the net talking to my friend who bought one last year, but he got the step-through model instead of the one with a bar on it. But very nice bicycles. They will break the bank, I can tell you that. I'm glad you got a chance to check in with us this evening. I got you marked down for C. Charlie for the answer, and we'll see what happens. 7-3, buddy. NTAD, Dave, good evening. Thanks for checking in with us this evening. Hopefully you had a good Tuesday so far. Over to you.
Hello there, Fred. Everybody on the net, all the listeners. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good Tuesday. I had a cooperative piano down in Canton, and got my grocery shopping done, went to the school board meeting, said hello to all the board members down there, and before I went grocery shopping, I heated up some leftover cabbage and noodles and some homemade pierogi, and so we got ourselves nice and fat and happy. Turned out to be a sunny afternoon. That was really, really sweet. So, for Tuesday, it was pretty terrific. Let's see. Looking forward to making it to the meeting on Thursday. That's still on my agenda. I got some concerts coming up, doing a Kent Stage thing here next month, and some Chagrin Falls and Green Chapel stuff for Good Friday. So we got some music coming up, which is fun. And I mentioned this to Gary a couple of weeks ago, so Gary's coming up here shortly, so just a reminder. Barbara Bone contacted me just a couple of weeks ago, and she is finally ready to part with Bob's radio equipment. And so at the meeting, getting a group together to take care of that. We did that with Zeke and some others, and so she asked me to see if we can get the club to help out with Bob's equipment. So I'd like to put that on the meeting agenda for Thursday. Hope to see folks there. Everybody have a terrific Tuesday. Back to WAWKY. Thanks, Fred. NTAD.
NTAD, WAWKY. Hey, Dave, that's great. Thanks for communicating with Mrs. Bond. And can you give me an answer to the trivia question? Did you have one?
I forgot to do that. Sorry there, Fred. It's very nice to see that all of the answers have been taken. Ron would be very happy with that because he would always take the answer that was left out just to make sure that there was no misfits. So every answer has been taken. D just sounds too obvious. And it's Eric, so it's probably not C, which leaves A or D, and I flipped a coin, and it came out A. Back to you there, Fred.
All right, Dave, I do have you marked down for A, Alpha, which is actually the first letter of the call sign coming up next on the list. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see if you're the big winner this evening. I know that Bob up in Barberton here, KA8LYJ, also chose A. Take care, Dave. AA8CS. CS stands for Custom Select in some form. Gary, good evening. Fearless Leader. What have you got for us? How was your Tuesday? And not only thanks for being here, but thanks for being such a wonderful president for this club. And I'm hoping you're going to give me your answer for the trivia question. Over to you, W8WKY.
Good evening, Sarah and friends. Yeah, I'll give you an answer. Save your money. No, that's a tip. Good to hear you tonight, Fred. Doing a fine job as usual. Let me get to the trivia first. You know what? I can't make any reasonable trying to look at these things. I'm going to just go with the obvious, B, because it's obvious. So that's my trivia question answer. To speak of what Dave spoke of, yeah, him and I talked about Barbara Bone contacting him. I know that Barbara and him and Bob had a relationship, and that works out really well. So, yeah, it was the topic of our executive committee meeting, and it is definitely on the agenda for the member support committee. We threw it over to Ron's committee, KBA L and K, only because it makes sense. And Dave, if you're still listening, and I assume you are, you had said that you would be the point person on that, and so I indicated to Ron that you would be that person. So that should work out pretty well. Really excited that things are going down like this, where the committees are picking up these different areas that in the past, just a handful of people dealt with, and this is so much better for everyone and the club, as a matter of fact, at least in my humble opinion. What else? Oh, meeting this Thursday, Casa Nuestra. If you are of the ilk for a Texas burrito and a margarita before the meeting, people arrive 5:30ish in that area. So if you're hungry and want to grab a bite before the meeting, come on down to Casa Nuestra, right around the corner from the Eagles there. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else. You would think I would, but I don't. Anyway, that's it, Fred. Thanks for doing the net tonight. And Eric, thanks for the trivia question. It's a great one. As a matter of fact, this question spawned an idea for my next trivia question. So keep your money and your wallet. AA8CS, back to net. This is fabulous evening. And, one last thing. March Madness is upon us. Beware. AA8CS, back to net.
Ah, yes, March Madness for all you basketball fans. B-ball is the ticket, isn't it? I think I'd rather watch football. But anyway, I imagine there's going to be some great plays, and I saw a little bit of college ball this past weekend with I can't remember who was playing, but, the Zips, the Akron Zips. It was a good game. I only got a little bit of it in, but it was fun. Anyway, Gary, I do have you marked down for letter B, Bravo. I like the way you think, and appreciate everything you do for the club, and we're all glad that the executive committee can look at things and kind of distribute the responsibilities within the committee members. It's a great thing. We've got a bunch of great people in this club, and we'll keep it up. Take care, Gary. 7-3. KE8UIB, Johnny, good evening. I'm glad to have you in here with us. Have you got any answer for the trivia question? And did you get out and do any fishing on the way home today? Over to you.
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Fred, everybody out there on the net. And we'll knock out the trivia here first. I'm messaging back and forth with my mom and dad. We're doing the weekly message, and they're listening in. They like to say hi to everybody, and they are going with letter B. And for Bravo, the wife and I, we're both going to go with Charlie. I'm kind of torn between the both of them. I really think it's going to be something that's not really going to be obvious that somebody would think about off the top of their head, but for security purposes. So I'll go ahead and go with the wife's better judgment here and go with Charlie, and we'll see how that works out. With that, I left work today an hour early. It was just so beautiful looking out the back door. I couldn't take it no more, and got home about the same time the wife did from work, and we went down to our favorite fishing hole for an hour, and didn't catch anything, but we had a great time, so you can never go wrong with that. But with that, let me catch a nickel real quick. And just want to say congratulations on the e-bike spread. And the wife and I, she has a Razor adult e-sit-on scooter, and I have one of the Amazon folding bikes, electric bikes. And we love those little things. We ride them all around our community and stuff. We take them up the road a mile to the store and back. My wife works a mile up the road. She rides hers to work occasionally on nice days and stuff. And last summer alone, we put a little bit over 130 miles on those things, even down the towpath trail some. They were great little investments. We do hope to upgrade one day, but they are definitely enjoyable. And we have all the nice little accessories, the mirrors, the phone holders, even have little ham radio holders on them. With that, you guys, this is KE8UIB, living the $5 dream, a nickel at a time. I'm going to hand this back over to Net Control. 7-3, y'all.
John, excellent. Well said. I have got you marked down for the answer to the trivia question with letter C, Charlie. I don't know if you're going to win that one over the parents. We're going to see, but yeah, glad you're in here with us. And the e-bikes, yeah, the only reason I got an e-bike is if I go far enough south here on the trails out of Kenmore and I'm too pooped to come back, I'll just turn the electric on. Otherwise, it's just electric assist. And it's enjoyable. It really is. You take good care of yourself. I'll say 7-3 to you, and hopefully hear it again tomorrow morning. Take care, John. WO3X, the other John. Good evening, John. I hope everything's good for you there over in Cuyahoga Falls. What's going on with you, and what's your answer to the trivia question? W8WKY.
Yeah, good evening. This is WO3X, John here in Cuyahoga Falls. Doing pretty good here. I had a real nice day today. Let's see, regarding that trivia question, like B and C are kind of fine resolution on the minutes there. And so I think somebody mentioned about easy to etch. I think D 1030 would be the easiest to put on there. So I'm going to go with D 1030. Regarding the bicycles, when I lived in Crafton, Pennsylvania, there I lived on 85 Thomas Street, and that's 15205. If you look that up, you'll see that no matter where you wanted to go on a bicycle, you had to go uphill. So the e-bikes would have come in handy then. And back then there weren't these 12 and 21 speed bicycles either. It was, well, I got built up really good, you know, because I could do all those hills with that one speed. And but an e-bike would have been nice back then. I don't have one now. I don't need one out here. You know, since I grew up with the hills everywhere. For 30 years, I lived at in South Baldwin, and it was uphill everywhere there too, except this one route. It was a 13-mile route that was downhill for like half of it, and then go up a really big hill, and then come back like up on top for 6 miles. And so that wasn't too bad. Just had that one really long, steep hill down at the sort of like a big U-turn. So that didn't work out too bad. So with that, back to the net. This is WO3X.
John, appreciate you joining in with us this evening. Always a pleasure to say hello to you. Boy, yeah. Those kinds of hills, e-bike would have done a lot for people, I'm sure. The Amish folks down near Navarre and south of there, they have some pretty plush e-bikes. Puts mine to shame. And they use them quite a bit. So when it's nice weather and you don't need the horse and buggy, you climb on your e-bike. And somehow they get around the electric thing. I don't know how that works, but they do it, and they have fun. You have fun, John. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate it. And we'll see if you've got the right answer for this trivia question. Makes sense. K88MNT from W8WKY. Thomas, good evening. How are you and Linda? How is your Tuesday going along so far? And what's your answer for our trivia question?
W8WKY, this is K88MNT. Good evening, Fred, and everybody else that's on the net this evening. Well, let's see. I'm going to get on the Delta bandwagon, I think, because I happen to agree that the other times on there would be kind of rough to put or engrave on a plate. So I think I'll go with that one. As far as the day goes, we had our 6-meter group brunch today, and boy, did we solve the problems. And we created a couple here and there too while we were at it. Let's see. And you asked how Linda was. Well, she's downstairs making another quilt, and I haven't heard her yelp for a while, so evidently she hasn't stuck herself with another pin. So all is good along those lines. And with that, I'm going to say 7 threes. This is K88MNT. Back to W8WKY.
Mr. Archer, I do have you marked down for the answer to the trivia question as letter D, Delta. Some of you folks kind of know about printing and stuff like that. Probably have an upper hand on some of us, but that's good. D is workable. Glad to hear Linda's okay. She hasn't stuck herself again. Tell her to be safe. Enjoy yourself, but be safe. And you be safe as well. I will look forward to talking to you in the morning. 7-3, pal. W2JLS, John. Man, it's been a while. I'm glad I got a chance to say good evening to you. You going to be at the meeting Thursday? And oh, by the way, what's your answer to this trivia question? Can you give it to me? W8WKY.
W88KOC for Whiskey Kilo Yankee. This is W2JLS. Yeah, I'm listening to all this talk about bikes, the e-bike, and I don't have one of those. I also don't have a $100 bill to cheat off of. But yeah, relative to bike stories, in the recent years of my adult life, I have not been on a bicycle in a long time. But I can tell you a couple of the last times. One of them I remember, I was still living in Charleston, South Carolina. I was driving down on one of the barrier islands called the Isle of Palms. Nice place. Should get there sometime. It was with a friend, and we were bicycling, and it's a part of South Carolina where there are birds and pelicans and things like this. And I was wearing a painter's hat to keep the sun out of my eyes, and I had a pelican unload on me in a way that hit the brim and splashed over my face and shirt, and I was just, wow, the volume was insane. That was one of the last two times. Another was I was down at the beach, and we were actually riding on the surf on the kind of the wet sand, which is it's kind of hard work, actually. And I thought, it's kind of hot, and I was going to go through this, what looked like water. I thought I'd blast that up on my back and kind of cool off. And sometimes things in life can be deceiving. As I made to the left, cutting towards the surf, and went into what looked like just a thin layer of water, it turned out it was more like 6 to 8 feet deep, and bottomed out into like a bed of like rocks and oysters and stuff. And I cut the daylights out of myself, and some of those cuts were like very, very sharp cuts, reluctant to heal. Not fun, but memorable. And that bike was never the same again. I didn't clear the salt as well as I should have. So when you guys are talking about all this e-bike stuff, those were the two stories going on in my head, and I haven't ridden a bike since. Not that it wasn't stationary in the gym. So there you go. There are two little stories. And then relative to the trivia question, as much as I want this to be 704, and maybe it is, I've decided I like some of my friends and fellow radio enthusiasts' logic on the something that's maybe easy to create and read. So I'm going to go with what my buddy Nick said, 1030, because that's also the station number for 1030 AM, WBZ Boston, which is one of my favorite stations growing up as a kid. W2JLS, back to net.
John, I do have you marked down for D, Delta, to the answer to the trivia question. And as I said before, I think maybe some of our friends in here have a little bit of an upper hand understanding printing. But yeah, cool, very cool. Not so cool about the bike and the hole. But you know what? When I was young, I learned how to ride a unicycle, and I'd play football on it, throw football and stuff with it. And I have to say those days are over, but this e-bike stuff is kind of nice. Like I say, I won't use the electric unless I'm very far away and I just too poop to get back. But it's got big fat tires on it. It's kind of nice. Should be a lot of fun. I'll let you know. Keep it posted. Maybe you'll want to get back on a bike here sooner or later. There are no pelicans in this area. Take care, John. I will talk to you soon. 7-3. KC8FQV. Mark, good evening. It's all yours. What's the answer to this trivia question? And how are you doing? W8WKY.
Okay, Silvercreek. I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to get things working. You know, yeah. I lose things, and we find them, and we lose them. I don't remember all the possible answers, but I want to say 410. If that's available, I would say that. Yeah, John would probably know a lot because, yeah, he works with graphics. I want to say 410, I think. Maybe I'll try that, if that's available. Other than that, not a lot else here happening. Just another day. Another day in this wonderful world of ours. Yeah, temperature can be all kinds of temperatures. There's no wrong or right temperature when you read the thermometer. Whatever it is where you're at. We have certain people that don't understand that. So let's send it back to net. KCFQV.
Alrighty then, Mark. I do have you marked down for letter A, Alpha, which is 410. Appreciate your presence here with us this evening. Glad to know you've had a good Tuesday so far. Keep up the good work. I'm sure I'm going to hear you tomorrow morning on the barometer net and through the day with the other nets. Take good care of yourself, Mark, and thanks for being here with us. K4OG, the other Mark. Mark, good evening. How are you doing? How was your Tuesday? And what's your answer for our trivia question, buddy?
WAWKY and net, and good evening, WAKOC, K4OG here, good evening. I said that already, didn't I? Hey, Fred, well, this evening and today was okay. I didn't get that nap. Well, yeah, I did. After I got out of work, I took a quick nap. But then this evening, I pulled out that telescopic antenna. Looks like a giant car radial. And tuned it for 28.37. Hoping to listen to Eric on the 10-meter net. And I got an S7 signal noise, so there was no go there. Anyway, wonderful question. I've been jotting this down. I first wrote down the choices in a digital format. And then below that, I drew the little hand diagram, trying to figure that out and what it looks like and remember what that clock tower looks like. And I've been keeping tally. It's a great question. It's keeping me thoroughly entertained. I couldn't figure out what was the obvious about Bravo. That bugged me till just about the end of Gary's statement, and then I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And I like John's easy etching. Everybody likes that Delta answer, but I've been leaning towards A from the beginning, trying to picture it in my mind after I drew out the analog with hands. I think it looks like a Pac-Man. And with FQV's pick before me, I think I'm reassured. So I'm going to go with A, Fred, and there you go, Jerry. Jerry's right behind me. Good luck. K4OG back to net.
W8WKY.
Mark, buddy, if you say it's a good choice, I say it's a good choice. I got you marked down for A, Alpha. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for checking in and joining in on the trivia. Fun. Do appreciate it. Sorry to hear that 10 meters was a wash. But lots of times, we try and make it around here to 10-meter nets and just doesn't want to work. We'll see what happens. Glad to have you in here with us, old buddy. You take good care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it. I'll talk to you soon. 7-3. KC8HDP. Jerry, good evening. Always great to hear from you. How's your Tuesday going, and what's your answer to this trivia question? Can you give it to me?
Well, good evening, Fred, and everyone on the net. Good evening to you, Eric, also, and thank you for the trivia question. Better answer that before I forget. I think I'm going to go with Mark OG. Go for 410, and for an odd reason, because I think that probably on July 4, 1776, it was before they had daylight saving time, and sunrise was at 4:10, so the sun was coming up on a new nation. Let's see. Well, I had lunch with the Wayne Erie's group today. Eric was included there. That was a good time. Even had a visitor from Ashland. We had 10 people today, so that was a good turnout. Don't really have anything else, so I think I'll send things back to you, Fred. Thanks for doing the net. Doing a great job as always, and look forward to seeing everyone Thursday evening at the meeting. So with that, W8WKY and the net, this is KC8HDP 73.
Jerry, sincerely appreciate the chance to say good evening to you this evening, and always good to talk to you. I'm going to see you Thursday evening, I'm sure. But thank you for your answer to the trivia question as well, and that makes sense. I don't know. This could be a rough one, but yeah, thanks for being here. You take good care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it, and we'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. Stay safe, buddy. N8WB W8WKY. Stefan, are you there? I was able to gain contact from Stefan as he was listening to the net on his way home. He must be driving from somewhere else here and listening in. I'm going to go ahead and open this up now to any stations we missed to begin with. And if you're out there and you want to check in, we can get Eric to give us the question again once we get the balance of the check-ins to come in. So anyone, anywhere, checking into the Silvercreek Tuesday net, please give me a call, W8WKY.
Recheck, AA8CS.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, KE8VZA, Eric in Strongsville.
Kilo Charlie 8, Yankee Foxtrot Oscar, Andy in Medina.
Andy, can I get your call sign again phonetically? I'm sorry.
Yes, Kilo Charlie 8, Yankee Foxtrot Oscar.
I got Yankee Foxtrot. Is it Oscar or Alpha?
Oscar.
Well, I think the finish on the call sign was from our recheck and our president. AA8CS, W8WKY. Take it away, Gary.
All right, Fred. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. I meant to say at the back of the bus. But two things real quick. You were talking about the Zips. They beat Miami 76-74 in the MAC tournament, the championship, which propelled them. They won it last year too. Which put them in the big dance 2 times in a row, first time ever. They do play Arizona. It's going to be a tough uphill climb, but if you're looking for a Cinderella team, Akron could very well make it to the field of 32, maybe even the Sweet 16. They do have the firepower if they can unleash it. And also, I wanted to concur with your assessment of the quality amateur that we have in this club. But I do want to remind you that until next Thursday, you're a member of this elite executive committee that we have going on there. So don't hide. I can't hide. Back to net. That's all I got. See everybody on Thursday. AA8CS.
Thank you, Gary. Yes, it was Miami that the Zips beat, and by such a small hair, but they beat them. And I don't know. I think the rivalry is Kent State and the Akron Zips. Kent State Golden Flashes, and we'll see what happens when they play if they haven't already played. I have not kept up on that. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to be a member of the club and the XCOM until sometime near in the future. Take care, Gary. I got added to the list, N8WB, which I did not get a response from, KE8VZA, and KC8YFO. Eric and Andy coming in on the end. Anyone else before I call Eric? Okay, Eric and Andy, do you need a re-explanation of the trivia question? Can you guys let me know? Or, you know what? Forget that. I'm just going to ask Eric to say it again, and then we'll get some answers. Eric, could you give us the trivia question again, please?
WAWKY from WADLM. I will be happy to do so, Fred, but before I do, I would like to remind everybody of the statewide tornado drill tomorrow. I believe it's 9:45 a.m., and I know that the Wayne County Skywarn net will be activated, and we usually have people check in from all of the surrounding counties there. I cannot speak for other counties, but anyway, please feel free to join us in this practice net. All right. On the back of the new colorized high-security version of the United States $100 bill, introduced in 2013, the time on the clock tower of Independence Hall is A Alpha 410, that's 410. B Bravo 704, that's 704. C Charlie 802, that's 802. Or D Delta 1030, that's 1030. Again, those times: A Alpha 410, B Bravo 704, C Charlie 802, or D Delta 1030. Back to net.
WAELM from WAWKY. Eric, fantastic question, really. And I have a feeling that I and maybe some other folks are going to get schooled with this. But we really do appreciate you providing trivia for us. N8WB, WAWKY. Stefan, are you available?
W8WKY.
Hearing nothing. KE8VZA. Eric, good evening. Thank you for joining in with us this evening. I think it might have been a little bit of a chaotic, hectic evening for you, but glad you're in here with us. What's new, and do you have an answer for Eric's trivia question?
W8WKY in the group. This is KE8VZA here. Yes, I am going to go with Delta 1030. That strikes me as a good one. And thank you, Eric, for rereading the question. Very good question, as usual. Very good question. Anyway, yeah, chaotic evening. Had I was net control for the Norris 10-meter net tonight. Wasn't too bad. We had a total of 13 check-ins, which that's the biggest number I've seen, either as a net control operator or as a participant. So that was really good. The noise was there. It's always there, but it wasn't too bad. So the propagation gods were smiling on us. So there was a couple stations. One guy on the blue screen in Olmsted Falls, I think he's in a valley. So there's that. And then some other station that was shooting his call sign, and I just couldn't pull it out. But everyone else was good. It was very good. E-bikes, yeah, I remember my dad telling me many stories about his moped when he was a kid back in the mid to late 50s. He worked for the newspaper company in Zanesville, and he delivered papers every now and then, but he did other stuff for the paper company, and he drove all over Zanesville. If you've ever been there, it's not flat. So his moped, he says, was a godsend. Predecessor of an e-bike of sorts, I guess. But anyway, I have a regular bike. I hope to get out and ride it sometime soon. And I got to see the footage of the Dragon space capsule splashdown and saw 2 of the astronauts come out of it. Pretty cool. And look it up on the internet. And I've rambled long enough. This is KE8VZA, back to net control.
KE8VZA, W8WKY. Eric, you ramble as much as you want. Anybody and everybody that checks in on our nets, it's airtime. It's for you, for here. So we're glad you're here with us, and glad we got a chance to say good evening. I do have you marked down for D Delta for the answer, 10:30, and we'll see what happens. Take good care of yourself, pal. I'll talk to you soon. KC8YFO, Andy, good evening. Thanks for being here with us. It's all yours. What's new, and have you got an answer for this trivia question? It's a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on my portable real quick. Just wanted to make sure, am I making it in all right?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Figured it was better than a bunch of dropouts. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with D as well. I'm not even going to cheat because I didn't even have any $100 bills in my wallet. So, but I'll go with D. It sounds interesting. I enjoyed the e-bike discussion. Me and my wife were looking actually at getting one of those each. We've got actually a nice little bike park right down the street. As far as what I've been up to, let me think. Most importantly, renewed my membership today, and then watched the splashdown as well, and just been doing some satellite contacts with Meso 50 and ISS and some APRS through the ISS, so that's been kind of fun. And there is actually another pass coming up in about 25 minutes or so, going from the west to the east over the northern part of the sky. So it should be visible. So that'll be fun. And then, let's see. Oh, here. So my little bit of trivia is, so I've had my ARL account for quite a bit. And my username was not my call sign. And I had the ARL.net forwarding on that. And that does not work. So you have to change your username to be your call sign for it to work as, like, you know, KC8YFO at ARL.net. So I learned that just yesterday. So that was my little bit of trivia back for the group. So I hope everybody's having a great week. And 73, KC8YFO.
KC8YFO from W8WKY in the group. All right. Andy, thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Sorry it took me a little bit longer to get to you, but I do have you marked down for letter D, Delta, 10:30 on the trivia, and we'll see what happens. Take good care of yourself, Andy. Drop back and spend some time with us whenever you care to. I'm going to make one last final call for any stations that would like to check in on Tuesday Weekly Net. Otherwise, we're going to hand it off to Eric. Anyone else for the net?
KG7, IRJ, all in Maslin.
You, KG7IRJ, W8WKY. have you listened to any of the net, and do you know what the trivia question is, and do you have an answer?
QSL that. I'm been listening. I'll take 802. I've lost track what letter that was, but 802 for me. KG7, IRJ.
Fair enough, Paul. I've got you marked down for C, Charlie, 802. And appreciate your presence. Glad I got a chance to say hello this evening. Take good care of yourself. I'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. 7-3. W8ELM, W8WKY. Eric, I think we're ready for our answer. And like I said, I think I'm going to get schooled. I think maybe a couple other people will too. Over to you, Eric.
W8WKY from W8ELM. Well, first I would like to make an announcement. I have 100 $100 bills. I have them in a waterproof case, and they are buried in my garden. My address, you can get it off the roster, I guess. Please bring your own shovel. And if I get enough response, I won't even have to get the rototiller out of the shed. Okay, well, anyway, on the back of the new colorized high security version of the United States 100 bill introduced in 2013, the time on the clock tower of Independence Hall is A alpha 410. That's what was on the old $100 bills. They have changed it. B, I chose that one because it's quite obviously supposed to indicate July 4th, Independence Day, and that is incorrect. C, I chose 802 to represent August 2nd, the day the Declaration of Independence was signed, and that is also incorrect. And the correct answer is D, Delta 1030. And after diligent research, I could find no apparent reason why that date, or that time, rather, was chosen. So maybe those guys that thought it was easy for the engraver, maybe you're right about that. Let's see what we've got. KD8SLG, Nick, WO3X, John, KA8MNT, Tom, W2JLS, John, K8VZA, Eric. Well, we know his name's Eric. He's got to be smart. KC8YFO, Andy, all had the correct answer. Thank you for your participation tonight. W8ELM, back to net.
W8WKY.
Eric, first of all, thank you for being in here with us this evening. Thank you for your work giving us trivia questions each week. You're sincerely appreciated. Your efforts are. And always great to hear from you, but that was a great question. So we've got our answer, folks. It is D Delta for the true answer to this trivia question, 1030. Who knows why? With that, I want to thank all the stations that checked in and out early on this morning, or this evening, just shortly after 8 o'clock. I want to thank all the regular check-ins checked in with us. Sincerely appreciate hearing from everybody, and hopefully everybody enjoyed this trivia question relation. And I'll go ahead and say thank you, one and all. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I'll go ahead and return this repeater back to normal amateur use at the hour of 9:08 p.m. Everybody have a terrific Tuesday. This is WA8KOC, and I'll be clear.
WA8KOC, W8TD.
John, good evening. Good to hear you. Which country are you in right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what day of the week it is when I'm out here. So I didn't realize it was Tuesday until just now. So I'm a little late. Let's see, we left Luanda, Angola yesterday. Today we were at sea all day. So I had to work for an hour. And tomorrow we'll be at I'm going to have to go look. It's an island. So something. Bummer. Can't think of it.
If you don't know where you're going, at least you know where you've been, right?
Sao Tome. Well, fortunately, I'm not driving, so I know we'll get there. But to Sao Tome, on the island of Sao Tome and Principe Bay, I think they pronounce it. So we're still south of the big westward bulge. After Sao Tome, we'll be veering way west to go around the northwestern bulge. We'll be moving time zones, and we'll only be 3 hours different at that point. We're 4 hours apart right now, I think. But, yeah, I'm sorry I missed that. I've been here. It's 1 a.m. I'm surprised I'm still awake. But it suddenly occurred to me that it had been Tuesday. W8KOC, W8TD.
John, sincerely sorry you missed the festivities tonight. Eric's question was impeccable, as always. He asked, what is the time on the time clock on the 2013 $100 bill, American bill, that was newly distributed? And his answer was 10:30, and nobody knows why. But great question, and we had a lot of fun. Sorry you missed getting in and saying hello to everybody else, but thanks for being here. And we're around here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, if you're available. I think it's maybe time for you to get some sleep, though. Thanks for remembering us, John. You take good care of yourself, and I will talk to you in the near future. 7-3, buddy. I'll be clear on your final.
Sure thing. I should be around in the morning. It's we're still 4 hours apart, so it'll be a reasonable time, unlike the time that it is when you're there, which is an unreasonable time. So, hello anyway. Glad I got to at least touch base with you. I missed the net yesterday because, I don't know. I don't remember. I missed it today. I don't remember why that was either. But having a good time so far. And stuff like that. Talk to you soon. W8KOC 73 W8TD.